What you look like? Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the New Orleans Saints. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And they'll run it here. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
When you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Easy. Clean, triple C.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
He's going to try and go deep again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And there he goes again. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here we go.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Jameis to throw it. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Garoppolo on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down. Garoppolo now, first down throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights off the defender, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. A good burst there, gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Hey, let's get it working. Watch 41, watch 41.
Winston now from the 50. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
They go play action. Winston. Now he's going to throw deep right side. It's caught at the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal.
Let's go now.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. A 10th carry for Kamara. Dancing away at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They keep it with Crowell on first. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining. Final play of the half here, Winston. And his throw is incomplete. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Again, this is Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Let's go. It's time to play. Hey, sub. Let's go. Green, Trevor, say.
Play action now. Winston. Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Spins, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Green, Trevor, see. Hey, sub.
2nd down, Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a first down.
Yeah, they have put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Garoppolo now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there, 26 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Garoppolo now. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Play action, Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22.
12.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. On the ground, this is Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 1st down, Winston. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride? Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward. Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying. And Charles,